Welcome to PTG TV. This is your host, Antonio Hicks, aka Escaping the Matrix. In today's Tech Talk episode, I welcome on my special guest, a big tech enthusiast and tech reviewer, someone who I follow, and glad he actually accepted my invite to appear on the show, Mr. Jay Williams. Welcome on to the show, brother.
Oh man, I'm laughing already. Of course I would accept your invite, man. I did some research, did a little bit of homework. Definitely, I'm honored to be on, man. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's a like I said, it's a big honor for me because, like I said, I look at your stuff and kind of what we're talking about a little bit off camera. I like what you do. I like the rawness in your videos. I like, and especially that you're an older guy. Because even me, like when I first started getting into this, outside of me doing my political stuff, because you looked into that too. And I started seeing these younger kids out there, and you see all this gray on me. I was like, man, I don't see too many guys here with this gray hair playing video games and streaming, especially doing tech reviews. So when I see people like you and some of the other ones, I was like, okay, I like them. I said, I love their content. I love their work. So I was like, okay, I'm trying to expand upon the show, and I want to have more people on to do tech talks. So I was like, let me reach out to this brother because I'm like, I like his content. Hopefully he accepts the invite. So like I said, I really do appreciate it. And then first and foremost,
I got back to you.
Nah, you busy. Everybody busy. So I appreciate the comeback. So I do want to say congratulations though on your 50 million plus views and your 126,000 subs. So that is something to celebrate.
It is. It's cool. You get a little plaque at 100,000 subs and you keep it moving. You celebrate for a minute, and keep it moving. But it is good. Most people don't make it to 100,000.
No. And they try to do every kind of which way to manipulate the system. I've had people I was helping stream, and they were threatening family members just to come in and follow their streams. Yes. Oh my, it got toxic, and I do not like doing toxic stuff. I don't, I don't participate in it because I was like, if you help people in that, it's gonna come back your way. But they try to manipulate the system as opposed to letting stuff just come naturally.
Oh yeah, that's the best way to do it.
So the first question: how you get started on YouTube? What made you want to jump into it?
Well, if I'm being honest, back when I first started my YouTube channel, I think I might have still been an executive at that time in the corporate world. I think I was, and I wasn't taking it serious. But the real reason I started the YouTube channel is because I saw a product, like most people do. I saw a product and I thought this person said it was fantastic, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna get it. Well, when I got it, I was like, ooh, this is horrible. It doesn't work like what they said. So, after that happening a few times, I thought, you know what? I'm going to just try my best at this. And when you start off, hey, it sucks. I leave all my current videos up. The first tech video I did is up, and it's horrible. Man, I think I was on my bed or something. I don't know what it was, but the motivation was there. And fast forward to today, 15 years later, here we are. I started it because I believed what someone said. And I felt like they played me a little bit just to get me to buy it. Everybody has been influenced by someone, and basically I wasn't watching a tech reviewer. I was watching an influencer at that point, but I just didn't know it.
Yeah, there is a difference in that. So the influencer, they're the ones that really just want to push the product because they want to get paid from the manufacturer.
That's correct.
And then the tech reviewer was somebody, if they're a real tech reviewer, they give you their honest opinion and tell you the realness of the product.
That's correct.
Kind of like
on the tech reviewer side.
like the S21, the S21 Ultra that came out. So I was on team. I was hashtag Team Pixel for a minute, but the Pixel 5 that came out, I was like, I don't know about that for the cost. And I was looking at your review on that too, and I was like, for the cost. And I had a OnePlus 6T that looked just as good, worked the same way. But then the S21 came out, and I started hearing, like, looking at everybody's reviews on it, but they weren't really talking. So I ended up purchasing it. I did purchase it. But then when I got the phone, I didn't see people really talk about the true functionality of the S21 Ultra.
Right.
And I'm like, for me, it's an actual workhorse that you can use to sync up with, if you're a PC person, to sync up with your PC. Because everybody's trying to get to where Apple is at with Apple and its whole ecosystem. And I thought Samsung knocked it out the park, partnering up with Microsoft to where you can actually do that same thing when you sync up to the PC. That's correct. I'm like, just kind of like you, I say I wish people would talk more about the functionality of the phones as opposed to giving their first impressions behind it and say, oh, well, you can talk on it, it can text, it's got good, can do the camera, like you talking about the camera reviews. Because I did watch a video the other day when you was comparing, what is it, the Poco 3 against the OnePlus 9, the OnePlus 9. Yeah. And the Poco 3 even is a cheaper camera, a cheaper phone, but the pictures look better, than that OnePlus 9.
Oh yeah. When it comes to a workhorse, man, I think that to your comment about people not really talking about certain things, the reason being is I always tell people, I'm just giving you, okay, I've done 10 videos on this particular device or whatever it is. I try to give at least 5 videos. I try to, because I want to cover, most of the videos that I do are coming from people asking for the videos. Like if I get enough requests for something, I'll say, okay, I'll do that video. But to your point about people not talking about certain things, it's because you can never narrow a device down to one person. You know, everyone likes something different. So when I pick up the Galaxy S21 Ultra, which obviously, you know, I bought 2 of them. Yeah. The phone for me is going to be about videography. And, you know, this is where I think it's a real workhorse. It's fantastic for that, especially those top-down shots. I've shot so many videos, and I try to use the products that I'm trying to tell people that are good or bad, which is why I asked you earlier, how was the video on this? And you said, well, it looks pretty good. Well, this is the front camera on a Samsung tablet. That's 7 Plus. So I try to use these products because I very well could be like you and kick my Sigma lens in and look crispy and sharp like you look. But I say, you know what, I'm gonna use the products. And I think that's where we have to draw the line from telling consumers, because when I first started my YouTube channel, it was more, I used to have a label of branding of end user. I used to always talk about basically the people, I try to cater to the people who are buying that $19 phone. That's the rest of the world. People aren't buying $1,000 phones cash. But I tried to cater to those people, make sure they were taken care of. And I still do that today. But when you say we're gonna talk about something in particular, there's too many things across the board for why a person would use a phone. So you liked it for that, linking up the ecosystem. I loved it for filming and just doing so many things with it. That's what I like for it. So I think all the devices can reach their potential. It just depends on the person who's holding it.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because it's like for a lot of, well, I won't say a lot of you, a couple of you all, you have your reviews, but then you have other things that like you're passionate about. And I do like when you go in to like get the ones from, what is it, the Metro PCS or the Walmart brand phones, and you give your reviews on that, because like you said, not everybody can afford the $900,000 phones. And so they actually want to see, okay, well, how does this phone compare to one of the high end phones? So that's why I say I do appreciate the honesty even in that.
Yeah, $20 phone. I carry a flip phone sometimes. I was looking for it. I think I might have left it on the table in the room, but I actually carried that flip phone, that AT&T flip phone that's now $25. I actually use that when I'm going to certain events. Like if I'm going somewhere and there's a possibility I might leave it on the table or something like that, or or I need something that's going to last me for the weekend without a charger. Yeah, it's just going to have good phone calls and everything. I'll grab my flip phone. And a video like that is extremely popular. Believe it or not, that Alcatel Flip 3 flip phone. There's a lot of people out there that enjoy that video, and they said things like, man, thanks for looking out for us, because I can't afford to finance a phone on my bill every month. Right. You know, I'm on prepaid. I can only afford $20 a month or $15 a month. That's the real world.
Right.
That's the real world.
Yeah, because a lot of these phones are expensive. Even with the new OnePlus that came out, and they were the Hasselblad cameras they got on there and was hyping it up. And I was like, is it really worth $1,100? Yeah, I do like the case though.
$1,100. Yeah, this case is $40 though, man. This case is $40. But I always tell people, don't try to mimic what I do. Just pick something. Like I'm showing you all these things, and let me be the person that goes out and buys them all and spends my money, because in reality, it's lucrative for me for you to keep watching, so I can buy these things and test them for you and give you some real feedback on it. But you know, this case is $40, and this case is $25. But this is the 9. This is the 9 Pro, and you know, these are good phones, but $1,100 and then what, $780 for this one, you really don't do that. I always recommend phones like my one of my daily drivers costs $49 now, and that's this Motorola right here. It's just as good. You don't even know, people don't even know the difference. You know, you throw a case on it, and the rest of the world, that's really what they're doing, man. Yeah, I try to move and create a place for people who might, I don't want them to get played by some of the things they watch. And that's why I always tell people, I may be showing you this $1,200 phone or my Z Fold 2 $2,000, but that doesn't mean you have to buy it.
No, because that advertising will get to you. It'll play in your head. especially
Oh
with
yeah.
because I'm the one always preaching about 5G. And with a lot of these events now, especially with Apple, and I'm an Apple person too. I have two phones, and they were
Yeah.
pushing out this 5G. I was like, 5G is a myth. It's a unicorn.
Yeah.
It's a five. I was like, I work in 5G. I was like,
Yeah.
5G does not exist. So I
Nope.
was like, so when you looking at a phone, please don't look at the 5G aspect of it. Because
I
first of
tell
all,
them
if you
no.
do get a phone with 5G, you got to pay an extra on that service plan too. So I
Yeah.
was like,
If you're on
so
Verizon, yeah.
yeah, and I'm like, no. I said, and then you're gonna pay extra for the plan, and 5G is not even your area.
Nope.
And
People
I'm
do
like,
it
when
all
you
the time.
see 5GE on your phone, I'm like, that's just enhanced LTE. I was like, AT&T got sued for it because they were telling
Yeah.
people, oh, this is 5G. It's like, no, it's just enhanced LTE. It's not true 5G.
Yeah. I tell people not to shop for 5G phones, and they say, well, I need a future-proof phone. I'm like, you want a future-proof
Right.
phone. You want whatever, but no phone is going to be future-proof because
Mm-mm.
if they do that, then no one's going to make any money. So they're going to keep on. That's why you see like iPhone 12 Pro Max, right? And then you see the iPhone 12. This is a 12 Pro Max. But I have an iPhone SE and an iPhone 8. All these, they all work the same. It's just marketing. That's all it is, and a way to keep you buying every year. Well, we're going to add this on. We're going to change the processor to the 14X instead of the 14A. It's all marketing. All marketing, and it's just a way to get you to keep spending money. But you really don't need to.
No. So in your journey of creating video, what were some of your downtimes, if you had any, where you maybe questioned whether it was even worth it?
At the beginning, when I was in the red for just a short period of time, I've been in the black for probably over 10 years, maybe. But for all you people that run a company, you know, that means you're making money, and you're in the red, you're not making any money. But I was in the red at the beginning, and I was playing catch up. Again, you can't get to a spot without learning or making some mistakes. And if a person says they got somewhere without falling on their face, don't believe them. You have to crawl before you walk. All these old terminologies are actually true. So when I felt like this isn't worth it, is when I was spending more money than I was bringing in. And that was in the first, because the first 4 years of being on YouTube, nobody even told me about monetization. Nobody even told me anything. They didn't, no one helps me. That's why I tell the current YouTubers that they have it easy. They have all these guides, and I say, you know, you got it really easy. So I felt like I was spiraling out of control once I saw like, man, I just spent $300 on this phone. Back at that point, $300 was a lot for a cell phone.
It was, yeah.
And I said, I only made $3 off this video. You know, because again, I was in that mindset. Now that I can monetize, back then I was like, now that I can monetize, I thought, man, I'm gonna get this phone, I'm gonna review it like they did and get 1 million views. Didn't happen. It didn't happen. Spent $300 or $350 on a phone, made like $3, got like 100 views, if that. And I was like, wow, man, what is going on? How does it? And that happened like 3 or 4 times in a row, like over a span of like I wasn't buying as many phones back then because I just remember I was still in the corporate world, and it was kind of like a side hustle. It still is, but I was more focused on other things. But at that time, I was buying a phone once a month for like 4 months, and I did it actually, and it just didn't pan out. And by the 6 months of being monetized and realizing this isn't what it is, I said, okay, it's time to stop chasing the money. And just, if you're gonna have fun, have fun. If not, don't do it. And I decided, okay, if I was reviewing USB cables and making a bunch of money off of them. You know what I'm saying? It's incredible what you get. It's amazing what people are into. I was reviewing an HDMI cable, and that video gets 500 hits, and I make $28 or whatever it is, you know. But once I learned to not chase the money, then I learned, okay, I need to continue to have fun, because I'm actually a tech enthusiast even without YouTube. So I genuinely love tech. I went to college for micro applications. I've been a tech person since a kid, and it's just something that's in me, I guess. But to fall on your face on YouTube and almost realize, you know what, I'm doing this wrong. Once I figured out, because there's no special trick to YouTube, once I figured out I just need to have fun and I need to love what I'm doing, then people will see. They'll see, and then if I want some money, because people do YouTube and monetize to get money. Let's just be honest.
Right.
It'll come. And
Right.
that was my turning point, man. But that was years ago, and I haven't looked back. I haven't been chasing money, and I've just been having fun. And then it just grows and grows and grows and just keeps growing. At least for me, it is.
So what were some of the things that you kind of did to kind of help even get viewers coming in? Because a lot of people, they fight for views. Like even the 100 views that you got. So I mean, 100 views is a lot.
It is. Some people don't get 3 views. And I the first thing I did is well, speaking from where I am right now, I remain humble. I don't laugh at people for getting 10 views, and I don't laugh. I just avoid trying to tell a person how to be. Because people ask me for advice all the time, and I guess I'll talk about that later if you want to know how people could come at me. But changes that I made, basically, or how I handle the view count or whatever, I just decided be natural. I'm naturally not. I'm a natural public speaker. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not afraid to be on camera. I didn't get on camera for probably the first 8 years, I think, of being on YouTube, man.
Really?
Probably I think regularly. I wasn't on YouTube for like the first half of the time. If I'm guessing right, I never showed my face. You know what I'm saying? And people started to say, "We want to see what you look like."
Right.
Like, why do you want to see what I look like? You know what I'm saying? It was weird. And I think once I decided to show people that I'm actually really comfortable being on camera and use the tool, like it's a natural flow. Like I naturally love to conversate and talk about things. And just, I'm not afraid to stand in front of 200,000 people and give a speech or whatever I need to do. And so that once I decided I'm gonna use this as a turning point, I'm gonna actually start a brand of just basically conversating about technology. And that's gonna save me a bunch of money because I don't have to buy everything. And then it's gonna let people know, okay, this guy has a real voice and he's not just trying to sell me something. I used to run a segment on the channel called Monday Smartphone News. Once I started doing that, it helped just really take off and let people know, okay, this guy, he's keeping up with the news on technology. We're not hearing a whole bunch of negative stuff of what's going on in the world. Let's just keep it about tech. And that's pretty much was my turning point when I decided you got to have fun with this. You just have to focus on something that you have that you don't have to pay for. Like nobody had to train me to go out and talk to people.
Right.
But everybody can't do that. I was talking to another YouTuber before this. And he has this anxiety thing when he gets on camera. He just can't do it. I think he's 55 or so, but he's a YouTuber. And he just has anxiety. I said fear. He said, no, it's more anxiety. I'm like, what? But I had to realize everybody's not able to just jump on film and start talking. People just can't do it.
Yeah, that was one of the things that my co-host I was talking about. Like, we think that they should start doing kind of like leadership development and Toastmasters in like high school. Middle school and high school to prepare kids just to even get out. Because like you said, you got grown people that can't speak in front of a crowd. Yeah. Like it's the hardest thing for them to do, even to turn a camera on. And I saw that in the streaming world. Because I was like, how are you streaming and playing games, but you won't turn the camera on? Because I don't want people looking at me and judging me. I said, but you're streaming though. I was like, they're going to judge you by your voice and what you're doing. Yeah. I was like, first of all, why are you even worried about that?
Yeah.
I'm like, because somebody's going to always look at you and judge you about something.
Oh, yeah.
So why do you even care?
It's going to happen. That's just naturally how it is. People meet a person, and I always tell people, somebody was asking my advice for something. For what in my real life, they was asking me something. They were saying, well, I said, what person have you met and walked up to him and said, I bet your personality is fantastic. No, you look at him and say, wow, you're beautiful. That's what you really said. Right. You didn't say, I bet your personality off the chart, girl. No, you was like, oh man, you beautiful. That's what you said. You didn't. It's a natural flow. Some people just get nervous and they're insecure about the way they look and things like that. And but I always say, if you don't like how something is, change it. You have the power to change what you want.
Yep.
You can do it. You can change whatever you want to change.
Yeah, that's some of the things I was telling some of these young kids, because when they were watching me stream, I'm like you. I'm like, I'm seasoned. I'm grown. I've lived my life, and I still got a long life to live, but I've learned a lot. So I'm like, when I'm streaming, I don't care how many people are watching me. I'm like, I'm gonna be the same person with one person watching me versus 2,000 watching me.
Exactly.
I'm gonna be the same person. And if you come on my show, like people used to raid me on when I was streaming on Twitch, and I would talk about their stream, like how your stream going, like, you know, how was the content and stuff. They said, oh, I want you talking about me because I don't want to take none of your viewers away. I was like, whatever gonna come my way is gonna come my way. Yeah. I'm like, I'm trying to ask you, like, how are you doing?
Yeah, it has
like,
nothing to do with taking viewers.
I don't care about that at all. I mean, I do to a degree because, like you said, if I'm making content, clearly I'm making it for a reason, but I'm making it also because I like doing it. Like you, I mean, I like conversating. I like talking about technology. I play video games, like playing video games and talking about video games. I even get into politics, but I'm like, but it's because I like doing it. So I don't care if it's like, cause even now I'm like that big now, but I'm like, even if I got one person watching me, like I said, versus 2,000, it's gonna still be Matrix. It's gonna still be Antonio, no matter what.
It's funny you say that because there's another guy. He streams games on YouTube. He streams it on YouTube. I don't know if he does Twitch, but I'm pretty sure he does. But sometimes I go in there, it's just 2 people watching him, and he's full throttle. He's having a blast. And you go back and there's 20 people watching him. Same thing. He's having a blast. So you know that when you're having fun with something. I've done live streams before. When I used to live stream back in the day, like 3 times a week. Sometimes it'll be like 3 people in there, and I'll still be on for 2 hours, an hour. And then, you know, but as time went on, I got 300 people in there, 400 people in a live. That's pretty impressive to me, to have that many people. I hadn't streamed, speaking of streaming, I hadn't streamed live on YouTube in over a year. And my first stream that I did to come back was on Monday night. And surprisingly enough, it was like 240 people in there. And on a Monday night, I was like, wow, you know, they were saying, man, we miss you streaming. I'm like, but I know I put out a lot of content, but I actually have a life. I enjoy going to the beach and, you know, doing all these different things. I like regular people. I love getting out, but I'm gonna try to start streaming on Mondays. I'm gonna try to. I'm not really into it like I used to be, but I'm gonna try to start it back up.
Yeah, you get busy. Thing. It's like you say, it's like, cause I used to stream all the time, and then, you know, my kids came in town, and for me, I hadn't seen my kids in over a year because of COVID. So, you know, my ex-wife and I, we was trying to just keep it safe, and, you know, we'll wait till the numbers start going down. So when they came into town, the streaming I used to do kind of tapered off. And I'm like, I can still do shows, but I can't get on the stream because I want to spend time with them. Right. But like you, I want to get back into it because I enjoy doing it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. It's streaming, doing live streams is so much fun. Again, it's true. I really was talking to another YouTuber, and that's what he was talking about. He was just talking about being anxious on camera. I'm like, but we have to be humble and remember that it's not for everybody, you know what I'm saying? So he's a really good YouTuber too, but he just said, I just really can't do it. And I love streaming. I love the fact that I'm not in control. Like if the camera fall over, it's not like I just keep, oh shoot, I laugh and keep it going. Some people are so nervous and they want things to be perfect, but nothing is perfect and nothing is flawless. I mean, your mic could go out. It could be anything. The camera shuts off, the device, so it could be anything, man. And you just have to go with it. That's the joys for me of doing a live stream. I have no idea what's going to happen, and I'm okay with that. It doesn't have to be flawless.
So what you have in, I guess, get back on tech topics, so many devices, because you got a ton of devices. What's your go-to daily driver that's like in your pocket right now?
Pixels are always going to be stock Android. Even though I have all these iPhones and stuff like this, stock Android is what makes me tick when it comes to the go-to. It has to be stock. If it's not a Pixel, worst case, it's going to be like some OnePlus, some stock Android device. And the only reason I carry an iPhone is because everybody in my family has an iPhone. And like everybody except me, not like my immediate family, not like siblings, but my wife, children, they all are on an iPhone. And they send iMessage videos and they send stuff. And if I have a SIM card that's not in an iPhone, well, I have 3-4 numbers, but I carry 2. And it's got to be a stock Android device for me because the Pixel devices are just proven. They have the best cameras, in my humble opinion. They slaughter everything when it comes to cameras, especially photos. And I'm actually, I guess I can't consider it work. Like I run the church website and I could do it easier from an Android phone. With an iPhone, I have to copy. It's weird. Like if I want to post today's message on the website, when I got the iPhone, I have to copy all of the stuff instead of just sharing like I do on Android. Something as simple as that makes me not want to use an iPhone as a primary device. But stock Android, Pixel, Pixel 4a 5G currently is the go-to device, period. And it's just, I have to have it alongside an iPhone because again, the iPhone is for everybody else. That stock Android is where I have to go. So Pixel, any of the Pixel devices. I have the 4a, you know, I have the last three. So, but the 4a 5G is that middle ground. It's perfect. Battery life, everything is just flawless on them. It lasts all week, not a full week, but I only have to charge it maybe 2 or 3 times in a week. The cameras are ridiculous. If I have to get a video of something, it's on par now with a lot of other phones. Because that was like a downside to Pixels. Everybody thought their videos were bad, but I think I thought they were doing it wrong. Because I've shot videos with Pixel devices and didn't tell a person, and they loved it. But as soon as I said it was a Pixel, oh no, man, that's not the Pixel. I'm like, wow, there's some brand loyalty going on here somewhere. But Pixel 4a 5G is probably the device I would recommend right now.
Yeah, because I have, well, I mean, like you, I'm a tech nerd too.
Oh yeah.
My main driver, I keep an iPhone because everybody in my house and my family have iPhones, and I have the whole Apple ecosystem and stuff too.
Yeah.
But I do keep an Android phone, like I told you before. My Android phone now is an S21. I came from the Pixel 4 XL. I still have on deck right in front of me right now a Pixel 4a. So if I want to take that out somewhere with a camera, then I'm gonna have the 4a with me because, like you said, I like the software how Google does imaging with their pictures. Even though Samsung camera is good, it is good.
Oh yeah.
But Pixel, it's something about Pixel.
To me, ever since Pixel phones came out and they did portrait photos, I don't take anything but portrait photos. I think because on the Pixel old system, they would give you the portrait and the regular shot in the same photo. Right. So I think portrait shots just really showcase what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I just think that's what it is. I think they do it so much better than everybody else. It's incredible, man. So the fact that I'm Team Pixel really doesn't have anything to do with that. It's just, this is a great product, and I don't work for Google, but I bought the phone with my own money. But not that matters. I was still, even if they sent it to me, because they sent me the 4a and they sent me the 5, and I decided to buy the 4a 5G because it was the last one to release. That phone is incredible, man. I know you like the 4a, but if you were to move to the 4a 5G, you got a bigger.
What's the difference between the 4a and the 4a 5G?
It's a bigger size, and the battery life is incredible compared to the 4a. It's incredible, and you also get another camera. You get the ultra wide angle camera.
We'll have to see.
It is just so much nicer. I mean, I have them both. So when I put them side by side, it's like, ooh, if you want a small compact phone, then the 4a is definitely for you. Because you're gonna get the same quality pretty much as the 4a 5G. But when you move to the 4a 5G, you get a little bit bigger canvas. You get a 6.2 versus 5.8. And that might not seem like much, but it is.
No, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, because they have like the full display. But you also get that ultra wide camera, and the battery life, it's great. Fantastic.
So what are you excited about this year as far as tech goes? Because I like I said, you got the phones, because you got me looking at the M1 Mac now, because I want an M1 the Mac Mini, because I was looking at the iMacs, but I was like, that Mac Mini, and I saw your videos on it and the docking station and everything. I was like, that might be the best fit.
Now I have a lot of computers. You probably can't see them, but I've got a couple of laptops. I have the latest Asus back there. I got the new Gateway back there, because I actually do use Windows computers, but not for regular machines. I use the editing processing power for those when I want to be somewhere else in the house. I keep a laptop in every room. I know that's bad, but in the movie theater, I have a laptop up there, and I have a tablet up there, and I have this position because at any given time, someone could say, hey, can you do this? And I'm like, just knock it out real quick. But as far as people wanting to get into the Mac OS, I always recommend the Mac Mini for a number of reasons. For one, it doesn't cost that much. Right. You can grab the M1 Mac Mini, the quote unquote base model, which is what I have, the 8 gig, 256 gig. And I put a tutorial up on how to add storage, the easy way, the more affordable way. Everything is up. But I would just say get the Mac Mini because you're going to get the same performance overall. I use that to help run my channel, and it's fantastic. But Mac Mini is the way to get into the ecosystem because it's the most affordable. You can buy whatever keyboard and mouse you want. You can buy whatever monitor you want. You can buy whatever speakers you want. Even though the Mac Mini comes with a speaker, obviously it's kind of low, so it'll get you started. But I'm telling you, like I tell most people, you really should invest in the Mac Mini if you want to get into Mac OS. Because it's weird how Apple doesn't push this that much, but that's their best Mac to me, that Mac Mini.
Yeah, and with that new M1 chip, because I've been looking at it because I have the 2018 16-inch MacBook Pro,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and I'm
That's a good
like,
Mac.
yeah, man, but when you try doing editing on that,
No, it's horrible. It overheats.
yes,
I bought it.
yeah,
I got rid of it. I got rid of it after like a week or so, or 2 weeks. I think I got rid of it. I was like, I can't do it. It was getting so hot. It was editing slow.
yes, it was getting
Yeah,
slow.
that's what you don't hear. That's what you don't hear on YouTube. You don't hear people saying it's overheated. You hear people trying to defend that it doesn't overheat, that it doesn't throttle down. But yeah, it does. I couldn't do
No,
it.
that thing is
I
hot.
couldn't do it.
That's why I was saying when I was looking at your stuff, I was like, okay, let me look at the M1 Mac, the Mac Mini, because I got 3 monitors. I'm like, I can plug it into one of these other monitors and have my 2 other monitors coming in my PC for my other stuff,
Yeah.
and then just
You
edit
can run
on.
3 monitors on that Mac Mini though. I've done it already.
See,
The
I'm gonna
M1, you can run.
yeah.
I ran 3. I have 2 4K monitors and I have one 34-inch widescreen monitor. I ran them all on the Mac Mini.
With no lagging, no nothing.
No latency, no nothing. No nothing.
Okay.
You can definitely do it. That
So
thing
what?
flows, man.
So what are you excited about that you want to see come out this year?
I really want to see Samsung do something different with the folding game. And I mean, because obviously I'm a big Z Fold 2 owner. I think if you're a content creator and that's your only device, I mean, I'm saying like for content creators, I try to tell content creators not to spend too much money and to use what you have. But I'm a huge advocate of the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2. That is one of the best creators devices I've ever used, like an all-in-one. But for folding phones, I want Samsung to do something thinner with their next fold. And I think that'll really take them to the next level because hardware is really what it's about. Their software, and like everybody's software is kind of staying the same. Right. We're just buying new hardware. But that's for Samsung. For Apple, I want them to make a folding device because folding devices it's just, as a creator and as a person who runs 2 websites, it's so much easier to work on a folding device. It really is. It's not a sales pitch. I don't read the brochure and, like you can see the commercials, but I'm a real person who bought the product and I can tell you they're extremely functional. Some people don't like folding phones because, oh, it's too big or too this. I get it. It's not for everybody yet.
Right.
But if you're a business or an owner or a content creator, someone who needs to get workflow done, a folding phone can really be beneficial. It can be really beneficial if you don't want to carry your tablet around. So because it folds away into a smaller compact size. You hook up a Bluetooth or whatever and you're good to go. And I think Samsung and Apple should really take things to the next level. However, Google is just where it's at. Man, I think Google, when people want to experience Android, I always tell them to go to Google first. And I'm really hoping for Google, because you've seen the leaks and all this about the Pixel 5a, the Pixel 6. We need Google to really step their game up even better than it is now, because Google's actually in a good place, but marketing is what sells a lot of the consumers out there. So if Google could bring something, Google doesn't even have to do a folding phone. Google just need to, and we're speaking more strictly about tech specs at this point. Right. If Google really steps into the arena, because a lot of people didn't want to buy the 5A or buy the Pixel 5 because of the processor. Oh, it's got a horrible processor. It didn't have a horrible processor. It was $700 in price, but then Google said, okay, we'll give you the 4A 5G, pretty much the same phone for $499. So they give you an option. But if Google uses the Snapdragon 888 and whatever they bring out, they're going to kill the game as far as just smartphones, because everybody loves, well, most of the people I know, they love stock Android, but they're disappointed in Google right now for the processor inside, which is really stupid because they've already proven that you don't need a Snapdragon 888. Right. But to satisfy the nerds out there, just put an 888 in it and call it whatever. And I want them to change up their hardware just a little bit. I love the Pixel 5. I think it's beautiful hardware because it's the same as the 4A and the 4A 5G. I want them to switch that back up again. I would like if they will hook up with HTC again, because the Nexus 6P, one of the most beautiful devices ever. But it was done by Huawei. So I want them to hook up with HTC and bring us to another device. I think that would just be, I really want Google to do something just crazy, just shock the world, because we need them to stay with it, and we need them to really stay on top of their game with their cameras, because ZTE just dropped the 30, Axon 30, and I've got the 20, I've got the 10, I've got the 7, I've got a lot of ZTE phones. I think with ZTE bringing that phone out at $750, 144 hertz refresh rate on this phone. Crazy.
Oh, wow.
It's $749. It releases on May 27th. If no one knew that, now you know, depending on when you're watching this. I think it releases officially on May 27th. And they're giving 2 away. They've got a promo right now. Follow them on their Twitter and everything. They'll tell you how to win one for free, possibly. But there's so much tech that I'm looking forward to. But I really want Google and I want Apple to really do something different. Apple, all my iPhones look the same. This is the new purple color. Okay, so I bought me and my wife the purple color. It still runs like my Graphite Max. It's the same thing. So Samsung and Apple are just doing the same thing over and over again. I want Google to do something different. I want them to really shine to make people get back to, remember the first Pixel came, everybody was like, whoa, man.
Yes.
That's what I'm ready for them to get to. I'm really excited for tech, but I want Google to really do something and I want them to price it just, okay, $850 for this spectacular device. I just want it to be something just so stupid that everybody has no reason that they just need to go buy it. I'm really looking for Google to hit it home this year. Hopefully
They're in the position to do that too.
They sure are. They sure are.
They can come in and undercut everybody and put out a great product. Because like you said, they've shown it with the Pixel 5 that you don't need one of the high-end processors just to make a functional phone. Yeah, I was a little salty with Apple because I did reach out to Apple when their press release team talking about the new M1s that was coming in the iPads. So I'm like, okay, cool. Because my son is going to school for graphic design work. Okay. So he's getting ready to graduate. And I'm thinking his mom and I, we were like, okay, well, let's get him another iPad. But I'm thinking, okay, they put an M1 chip in there. Maybe they'll put Mac OS as an option. Because I was like, that way he can run the actual full Adobe, desktop Adobe on the M1 Mac, on the iPad. I reached out and she was like, no, we have no plans this time to put Mac OS on an iPad. And I was like, well, then the M1 is just overkill. I was like, it's overkill on the iPad.
It is very much overkill. I still have the iPad Pro 2020 and it's going to be here until they do something spectacular. Now, as we talked about earlier at the beginning of this live podcast, I'm using the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Plus, and this is the front camera. This is this tablet is so much better. I don't care what's inside the iPad. This tablet comes with the S Pen. You don't have to pay anything extra for it. And it is a full-fledged creator's dream. Like if you're it's good for anybody. Right. This is a creator's, you could run your entire website from this tablet, which is what I was looking for the reason I bought it. So I like my iPad Pro. But again, iPad OS is so limited on the basic things I need to do. And I had to buy the pen for $100, $200 with extra, whatever it costs. It's just not necessary. Tech today is pretty much about marketing. We're going to try to sell you on something and tell you something. Marketing has always been a trick to a lot of stuff. But when it comes to Apple, they just want those dollars, man. People call it Apple tax. Like they took out the chargers in our boxes and they want to charge us to buy the charger. That doesn't make any sense. No. They're trying to save the environment, but they're going to make you buy the charger that you should be getting free. Come on. Right. I don't know. Apple is afraid to innovate. And good company, good, solid operate. Their ecosystem is solid. Yeah. Yeah. You heard my watch was beeping, my phone was beeping, and my Mac was beeping. My daughter was messaging me. That's great. So no matter where I am, I'm sure my iPad's over there beeping, but no matter where I am, I can get it if I need to, but it's bigger than that. Like, that's why Samsung, I think, they marketed the Galaxy Note 20, I believe it was, for creators, the Ultra. Yeah. They marketed for creators, but, I just think when it comes to buying a device, everyone's not going to get the same benefits as the next person, but I really need Apple to do something different than to put an M1 chip in their iPad and sell it as fantastic. So what is 50% faster or whatever? Who's going to see that? When are you going to use that? It's just iPad OS. Right. And they're never going to put Mac OS on an iPad because then they're going to kill off all their $2,000 for an iPad is ridiculous. Yeah. Who in their right mind? But you know what you're going to see though? You're going to see everyone out there on YouTube who either got it for free, got it on loan, or they have gazillion subs, and buying a $2,000 iPad is nothing to them just to try to get more, because it'll pay for itself with that one video. But those are going to be the people you see promoting that it's so fantastic. They're never going to tell you it's overkill.
Yeah.
It is overkill, like you said. You don't need an M1 chip in an iPad.
No, because it's like, what are you using it for? Because a lot of you aren't graphic designers. You use like another YouTuber said. Because I'm gonna bring anybody else up in this, but they use it to watch videos, or they use it to do social media, or they may read a book every now and then, play games. That's about it.
That's exactly
so I'm like,
I mean,
if you're not getting into graphic design work and doing this stuff like that, is the previous chip in there is perfectly fine. Like you said, I have a 2018 model, and it's still good.
Still good.
It's still good.
As mine.
It's not slow.
On the back.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And who cares about the camera on? Like, now that is funny to me. People care about the camera on the back of the iPad. I was like, now, unless you're a tourist, because I have seen those people who you walking around with a big iPad filming stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, who cares about a camera on the back of an iPad when you got a better camera on your smartphone?
Yeah. Yeah. And you can just airdrop it over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, that's how it's selling to for me.
That's even on Android now. But the thing is, man, cameras on iPads and cameras on tablets, like the Samsung tablets, this is, again, from a creator standpoint, this is fantastic because I got an all-in-one. I don't have to have, because I have obviously some high-powered cameras and stuff in my office, but I was like, I'm just going to use this tablet because it's an all-in-one. There's no microphones hooked up. Look how good the audio is. Look at the quality of this product of cameras. And this is the front camera. So from a creator standpoint, a camera on a tablet, people do laugh at people who do this right here. It looks kind of silly, but in reality, those are regular people. The real people in the world, they're beating us meaning techies. They win when it comes to certain things because they keep their products until it breaks. They keep iPads for like years and years and years, and they're recording and all this other stuff. They're getting their money's worth. They're getting their money's worth, and if they want to record with a tablet, it looks funny. Let's be clear, it does look funny. But yeah, people like to do it because they might be saying, I don't want to record it on my phone. And some people don't even know about AirDrop. So people might not even know about AirDrop or if you're on Android, Quick Share. Quick Share, you just send it over, and it'll pop, turn on Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, it'll drop over to the other device. But I just, taking video on a tablet is fine for me. I wouldn't be embarrassed to do it because I'm thinking of a creator mode, but it does look funny if I'm being honest. It looks funny to be out with this giant tablet taking photos and videos.
Yeah, but with your the S7, the tablet, it has DeX on there too, right?
It does. It has DeX and wireless DeX. Yeah. I've done a couple of videos.
You did. Yeah, you did do the video on it. Yeah.
It's amazing. I can shoot it up to my big TV in the living room, or I can even put up to the TV in the movie theater upstairs. It's fantastic. It's all wireless. I can do everything. And with Apple, that's why I say this tablet is better than the iPad in so many ways. People in the tech community get caught up on the internals. Right. When it comes to functionality, like you said earlier, how is it really benefiting you? Is it really functional? And for me, DeX is one of the most underrated features. I can pretty much turn on DeX right now, and I don't even need to share it wirelessly anyway. It just turns into pretty much a computer right on the tablet. And I think, but the marketing game of Apple is so strong that, like you said, people are buying this M1 chip iPad, and what are they doing it for? Why are they doing this? It's 50% faster than the 2021. Okay, so what?
So,
how are you actually going to use that 50% of power that you're supposedly getting different? How are you going to actually use it? It's almost impossible to determine if a person is wasting their money or getting their money's worth because we are all different. Some people might say, well, Jada, the Tablet 7 Plus that you're using, it's not good. It has a Snapdragon 865 Plus inside and yada, yada, yada. It's not as powerful as the M1 chip. However, I can do more things on this tablet than I can with the iPad.
Right.
It's all beneficial to the person holding it.
Really Samsung has done what the nerd community was looking for out of the Linux phones. They wanted to have the Ubuntu phone come out. I forget the name of the company that was making it. So they could hook it up to a monitor and have a full Linux desktop. And then when they're not working on the desktop and doing server maintenance and other stuff, they can unplug it and go back to using it as a regular phone. And Samsung did that with DeX.
Like you said, Ubuntu was good though. Most people don't know what Ubuntu is. Oh, that was a good. It's still around now.
It still is.
It's not. You don't hear people talking about it though. But it's actually pretty good, man. Remember the phone would have been it would have been so nice.
Yes.
It would have been so nice. But people are afraid to take risks. And I guess if they're putting their money up, they're trying to analyze the market and see if they're actually going to make money. Because that's what these companies are thinking about. They're not thinking about, let's take care of the customer. They're not thinking about that. They're thinking about how much money can I make off of this?
Hashtag OnePlus.
Exactly.
OnePlus.
How much money can I make off this?
Because
That's really
OnePlus
what it
started
is.
off as, I remember they first came out of the company, it was making the skins for Android. Then they got
Yeah,
into device making, and they was
yeah,
listening to their customers. They was like, okay, we're gonna
yeah.
make device for the nerds, the tech people. And then, like you said, money got involved, and they was like, okay, we want to start making some more money. So,
That's correct.
we hear you, but we don't hear you. We're gonna make what we think will sell even more, so we can start charging $1,000 for our phones.
That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. It's a money grab for a lot of things. Even this right here, sadly, is just a money grab. I mean, bringing out the colors differently, this is just a money grab. That's all it
Yeah,
is. It's just a
yeah.
money grab. And my reasoning for buying this is because, true story, I used to buy all of the sizes of the iPhones.
Uh-huh.
For one, I wanted to showcase them on the channel, and then I would give to somebody in the house. I'm not gonna keep it. Like somebody in my house is getting a new phone. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, or like even if they're not in my house, somebody's getting a new phone because I don't need it. But I prefer the size of the 12. This is the 12, and my wife has the mini, and she also has the max, but she's not gonna use her max anymore because it's just little hands, so she prefers the mini. This might look like a mini in my hand, but this is actually the 12, and so I like the 12 better than the max because this is so heavy in my pocket. Like if I'm working out or something like that, or I'm just moving about, especially if I have a suit on, I'm going somewhere, and you want to put it in this, it'll just weigh you down. This right here, the 12 is like the perfect size for me, for a guy my size. These big mittens right here. This is a good size, and the grabbing of the colored purple, that's just a money grab. And the only reason I grab the purple is because a couple of reasons. I can bring content to the channel for somebody who might want to see the purple. I already did the purple mini, but I said maybe someone wants to see the purple 12. I like the color purple, and I was like, you know what, I'll just grab it.
Yeah, my
It
kid
was
wanted to
free,
see
but,
it.
you know, still, yeah.
So you got something from us because he wanted to see it.
Yeah, I know people want to see it. I know they would.
So, content creating. How do you find time to create content, being a family man, doing your other side projects, and then find time to create it, edit it, and upload it? Because a lot of the other people out here, they have their own editors. So somebody like me, I create my own content. I edit everything myself, even from the podcast. I do all the podcast stuff myself. When it comes to fly, I do everything myself. So it can be overwhelming for new people starting off. How do you find time to do that, and how do you do it?
So for me, you're right. I do actually have a life outside. It may not look like it because I produce a video. A video is produced on my channel pretty much every day, or at least every other day. And I find time by simply just enjoying my real life. Now, meaning, like one of my granddaughters, her birthday is coming up. So, okay, I can't be here during that time. So I'm just gonna shoot a video when everybody goes to sleep. When I say everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, because in this big old house, our one daughter, she's disabled, so that's the only reason she's here. But other than that, it's just me and my wife. And everybody's gone, but there's always a phone call coming in. And you tell me how much my phone is beeping. They go away, but they still need something. But I find time, I shoot at times that are not times that my family wants. It's just that simple. So if my wife says, hey, here's the plan for Saturday, this is what we're gonna do, and here's what we're doing on Sunday, this is where we're going Friday during this time. And also my wife, she's retired once, but she's back in the office again. She got bored. I was like, I'm not going back to the office. I'm not going back to work for anybody else. But this also gives me a little bit of time to shoot. If I'm just being completely honest, I basically shoot videos because, boy, FedEx, UPS, the post office, DHL, any kind of company that ships, they stay at my house. they stay at my house. I also have a PO box too, and I have another shipping address. We have at the other house, I stopped having mail go there, and I just had it forward all to a shipping address. I get average probably 10 to 25 packages probably within a 3 to 4 day period. A lot of packages. So first I have to have the content to create, and I have the content. So I just try to pick a time where I know that no one's going to be, my wife won't say, hey, this is what we have. We use a thing called Cozy Calendar. It's an application. And you can put your whole life in there. Because she's still an executive. She's still in work mode all the time. But I basically shoot when no one's around. And that could be at 4 in the morning. That could be at 12 a.m. I always tell people, look at the time on the clock on the device. And you'd be like, golly, Jay's shooting at 2 a.m. or Jay's shooting at 1 a.m.
I never thought about that.
Look at I always tell people don't pay attention to that though. Some of the videos, you look at the time it was recorded in the day or versus when it was published. Now I always try to publish within 3 days of that, because I feel like after that, shooting a video is just like the tech world. It changes every 3 weeks. So if I shoot a video on Monday and I don't produce it until Friday, it's got to be something like a headphone or something. It can't be a device or anything like that in most cases, because finding time to shoot, believe it or not, even though I'm retired, it's still difficult because I don't want to keep YouTube out front. I want to keep my life out front. I love being able to just get up and leave when I want to, go do something. So finding time to shoot is the difference for me, because I know a lot of people are not retired. You know, they still work a full-time job. And that's the advice I would give to them. If you are trying to start a channel or you have a channel and you find yourself not having time, you feel like you don't have time to shoot, look at it this way. I hate to get serious on you for a minute, but I have to. This is who I am. Some people would say I'm getting serious, but I would say I'm just being me. If people say, I didn't have time to read the Bible today. Really? What would you do today? Oh, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. You're like, you couldn't give 5 minutes? So position yourself in your life to make time for the things that are really important. So for me, running my personal website and then running the church website are extremely important. In tune, then there's YouTube is then there like number 7 on my list, believe it or not. YouTube is like way at the bottom of the list. Now you can't tell because of all the content, but again, I shoot videos sometimes 2 or 3 a day or 2 or 5 within a 2-3 day period, and I'll schedule them out. So if a person is trying to find time, we always make time for what we want. That's why YouTube is at the bottom of my list and my wife is at the top of my list. So when she says, all right, I'm about to take a nap, trying to go shoot, I can always tear up on a new package. Like my storage area is just, oh my gosh. I got so much stuff. It's like a treat every day. Every day, man, I'm headed to pick up packages after this. I'm being 100% honest. They're out for delivery, delivered. Seriously. You see me reach over every now and then, a list of packages to go pick up. But it's not going to be like that for everybody. But reality is, once you get to a point where you start to struggle with finding a place to record, I would tell you to stop. Reposition, put your family and everything at the top. Put them first and work around their schedule. Especially if you're a person with young children. There's a YouTuber named T. Frank. You're talking about fantastic quality. What did she do? She had a baby. She said, YouTube's got to go. She produces a video now like once every month or 2 months. Her family is first. So you have to put, and let me tell you, she helped me out with the camera game. She put me on back in the day when I wanted to transition from phone to camera, the real camera. She put me on. We went to a couple of events together and stuff. She put me on, and her quality is ridiculous. She made a choice though. She said, you know what? I'm putting family first, but you know what? Her quality is still great. She may not produce as much content as she used to. Her quality is still great. So you have to position yourself to find the time. And if you're single, obviously, you can do what you want to do. You know, but if you have other things in your life that you consider important, taking care of your mother because she's sick, or just she just lives with you, your dad lives with you, your parents are at that age, you don't want to put them in a home, you want them to live, you work around their schedule. I found that to be best for me. I'm not going to tell my wife, hey, I'm getting ready to do this. First of all, you don't do that. That ain't gonna work. She's like, what? What you gonna do? It's not gonna work.
Well, it depends on your household.
Yeah. That's definitely not gonna work. So the best way I found to do it is I work around her schedule. If she's in the gym, we have a gym inside the house over there. If she's over there, I'll get my workout on first, and she take like 2 hours, and she'll take another hour and a half to shop. I'm in here recording at least 2 or 3 videos, and getting them ready for the subscribers. And I just can't be any more honest than that, because I'm just a guy who just happens to be on YouTube. That's all it is. And so I think people are kind of shocked when they hear me talk about that. Like, that's what you do? Like, that's what I do. I work around whatever she says. Hey, we're going somewhere at 2:30. Okay, how much time I got? She's like, I know you want to shoot a video. I see the packages. All right, can I get one in an hour? Sure, go ahead. Let's knock it out. But finding time to shoot, that's a really long conversation and we can't keep going, but it's just, for me, I've been doing YouTube long enough to where I've learned to position myself to where my wife could walk in right now. She see my office door closed. She hear me talking. I don't have no on-air sign outside my office. She just knows, okay, he must be in there doing something. He'll be in there for about 45 minutes to 3 hours. I'm gonna go over here and do this. I'm gonna read a book. She's an avid reader. It's a mashup because I was telling you about a YouTuber offline who has some things to talk about being live. He does the thing. He works around his family. That's just the best thing to do. But he still works a full-time job. He literally works a full-time. I think he's trying to retire. I think he might have 20 years in to retire. But finding time to shoot is not very difficult for me because I just try to do it around the things that are important to me. Family is extremely important to me. That's like top of the list. I gotta make sure I'm happy first with my family before I can be happy with anything else.
Yeah, that's a good message right there. Yeah, you got to be happy at home. Your family got to come first.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So now when you uploading your videos, like how can you help somebody out and tell them what they can do as far as what helps boost your videos and how can they defeat the evil dragon of the YouTube Google algorithm?
Oh boy. That's a hard question right there. But I guess here's the thing. Either some people get on YouTube and just blow up off of one video. It happens. I've seen them do it. Like, that video got 100,000 views is because what they were talking about was something that everybody wanted to hear. So really there's no trick to getting people to watch you, but there is something that you can do. The first thing is you need to be true to yourself. You have to be on camera, especially if you're going to be on camera like this. Ironically enough, a person can tell when you should be able to decide, depending on how old you are. If you're young, you're still going to be kind of naive, but depending on how old you are, you should be able to tell if a person's truly being sincere or they have a passion or they're being honest.
Right.
You should be able to see that by now. And you should be able to see what's an infomercial versus an influencer versus an actual tech commercial or tech review. You should be able to decipher these things, but that's the tough one, man, because there's no trick to it. You just have to figure out how you have to be doing something that you like. If you don't like it, you're going to sound like a robot. And today we have the thing, people want to know you're reading the script. But if you like what you're doing, when you turn on that camera, it's just going to flow. But then the problem is getting people to watch you. Right. So right now, if a person tries to join the tech community and start doing YouTube videos, they're going to struggle because they're in competition mode trying to compete against other people who are already in that space. And remember, I've been on YouTube since 2006. Yeah. So it was different back then. And so now it's just straight up competition. Who can get the most clicks and who can get the products first? If nobody's really having fun anymore. Nope. And see, I think for me, the reason that I have so many views, and I'm shocked that I have the views I have sometimes, the reason I have so many views, I think, is because, well, I'm not the typical young, handsome, pretty face on YouTube that people want to see. I'm consistent. I always tell people I have what's called integrity. And that goes above anything else that I even put on YouTube. I'm not going to get on YouTube and lie for money, lie for clicks. I'm just going to be as honest as possible. And that's something that I think you rarely see on YouTube. You see a lot of infomercials and you see a lot of influencers just pushing products. Very seldom, which is why I started smartphoneconversations.com. That's the plug. That is my website. Smartphone Conversations, it's a conversation. Most people don't want to have a conversation. They just want to tell you about specs. They want to tell you if you should buy it or not. I try to avoid at all costs telling people not to buy something. But some things are so good, I do recommend. But you have to get on camera, man, and you have to get on YouTube when uploading. You have to just find out sometimes finding out who you are won't even come from you. Somebody else will come on and be like, you know what? Oh my God, you know what? That was beautiful. And you might be like, well, it only got 50 views. That was beautiful. Stay with that. You got something good. It's gonna take off. I'll give you a true story. There's a guy out there, and I won't say his name because I've already done enough. I'm the type of YouTube creator that I'm not afraid to share my subscribers. Meaning I'm not afraid to tell my subscribers about somebody who I think is even better than me. No, you do that. I frequently do this because I think everybody should be aware, and it does me no good to have $1 million if I'm not gonna give somebody else 100,000. Doesn't make any sense. What am I gonna do with all this money? There's a YouTuber out there recently that I said, I'm gonna tell everybody about this person. That person didn't even have 1,000 subs. By the next day, they were now they have almost 2,000. This was only like a week ago.
Oh, that's good.
My fault. I'm not saying that I did anything spectacular, but I just made my subscribers aware of this person who I thought was pretty good. Now that person is monetized, like over 2,000 subs. It's only been a week. Again, I'm not saying I had anything to do with that, but I'm just saying we have to make everyone aware. We have to share.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's going to take somebody else to recognize you that's already where you're trying to get to, and that is what you don't see. You don't see a lot of the people up there with 10 million subs recommending other people. What they recommend is the person who has 2 million subs. You see what I'm saying? They're keeping it within a certain circle, which just doesn't make any sense. Because I'm
going to ask you about So now that you say that, who would you collab with? If you would collab with anybody? Yeah.
You mean like across the board?
Yeah, like just if you want to make another like a tech video, or even if you was getting into doing like a tech talk, kind of like what we're doing right now, who would be somebody that you would?
I stopped it though. I had a Tech Talk show. It was called Tech Talk, and the reason I stopped using that title Tech Talk is because a couple other YouTubers named their saga Tech Talk, and I was like, this is stupid. I'm gonna stop this. I gotta branch out and do something else. But no one can have smart conversations if I own that. But who would I want to collab with? Oh man, as a YouTuber, ooh.
Anybody, small or large.
Yeah. But to me, that's a state of mind too. Because some of the people who people think, we talked offline, I told you. Some of the people who think are so great. Nah. So let me see. Because some of I don't think I mesh up well with a lot of the people because they're just into infomercial mode. They just want to sell you products. But I guess I could do it with, let's see. I'm not subscribed to very many people either. I'm not subscribed to any of them. I watch them sometimes, but who would I want to work with? You mean like in a conversation style like this?
Yeah.
Wow, because I love doing this. Who would I want to work with? Well, I've never really been asked directly. You're the first person to really ask me directly. I like it though. I like not being in control and unexpected. Let me see. Who would I want to work with? There's so many of them.
Because I'm gonna invite you back for another TikTok.
I'm on. I'm totally with it, man. I'm totally with it. Who would I want to work with as another tech reviewer?
Because there's another guy. While you're thinking about that, I forget his name. Because he was. I loved how he got into doing videos too. Because he was a content creator prior to, and he was same as me, same as you. He was in corporate America for all these years. And he got tired of the rigmarole of corporate America. He actually made a video where he was like, man, I just told my wife I'm about to do YouTube full time. I'm about to put everything in God's hands, see how it goes. And yeah, he actually does a live podcast once a week. I think it's every Sunday, Monday or Sunday.
Oh, wow.
And he does it with two other YouTubers. I didn't even know who they were until I looked their channel up and I saw him on his podcast streaming. But yeah, he put out there, he stepped away. He wanted to do this full time, and he does a little tech talk, kind of like a tech talk show too.
Wow.
And he partnered with two other guys. They just sit down, they talk on like a Monday, Tuesday, and stream it live and just random conversation.
Because I think having more than one person on the panel is definitely good.
Yeah.
When 2 people is great. 3 people start to push it. You know what I'm saying? Because as far as like conversating, it can go sideways real quick. But who would I want to work with, man? God.
See, I didn't put you on the spot.
Tip of my tongue. I think it would probably be. I know her. She's really, the person I told you about earlier, T. Frank.
Yeah.
She's one of those people that don't really like to be on camera. She would be somebody that I could do a show with like this, but she doesn't do vlogs like this. That's why I think it would be great, because she doesn't do vlogs like this. She shoots video production. I think somebody else that I might want to work with is. Somebody that I used to really love, he doesn't do videos anymore, is Brandon Miniman. He worked for Pocket Now way back in the day.
Yeah.
He was
I remember him.
He was one of the people that I really love his work. Noah from Phone Dog. Oh man, these guys, I like those, because that's when YouTube was really good. There was like some honesty going on back there.
Yeah.
Pretty much, I would say. But current day, man, I don't know. T. Frank is a good YouTuber, but I don't know who I would genuinely want to start a show like this with, regularly be on a show with, to work with from today's pool. There's just so many people, but I think I think I might not be like when you get on they might not be as talkative, or it's hard to keep a conversation going if a person isn't into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So some of these people aren't vloggers. They may seem like it, but I don't think a lot of them are vloggers, and they just do the influences type stuff. But
Yeah.
it would actually be really nice to. Oh, you know what? Lisa Gage. She's on. She runs the channel. She's oh my God, what is her channel? Lisa. I forget her channel, but she's a very popular person. And I actually, regardless of what I said, I would definitely like to work with Erica Griffin. Erica Griffin is a good tech reviewer.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're just talking about being on camera, maybe it'd be something good. Maybe she's a conversation type person, though.
Yeah.
She's naturally a conversation. So I think that would be hilarious. I think it would be entertaining, probably. When you think something and then reality kicks in, it might be the total opposite. It might be a fantastic thing. Erica Griffin, possibly iJustine, maybe Floss is a conversation guy too. I like him. He's a conversation starter, you know what I'm saying? He keeps the conversation going.
Yes.
I won't have any drink. Floss, I won't be drinking with you, partner.
Yes,
drink, but,
dude. Those 7-hour episodes that he does on Sundays, I was like, how do you do that?
I've seen him do a 10-hour, man. That's my man, 100 grand. I won't drink with you, but we probably get the party going like that. There's a guy who's not now. He actually, believe it or not, he's a huge tech enthusiast. His name is LeBaron. He's known in the tech community as L Boogie. He actually owns Popcorn World, doing the world of flavor.com. He owns that, but he's a huge tech enthusiast. He's in a lot. He's a good comic. That is somebody I need to link up with.
Okay.
I'll send you. He owns Popcorn World. This brother owns Popcorn World. Ships throughout the entire world. His name is LeBaron. That's somebody I could definitely be on a video with because he's an intellect. He's a business owner. He's a millionaire. He's established as a person, as a man. Mm-hmm. And his conversation is great, even though he owns Popcorn, where he literally sells popcorn. You gotta check him out.
I'm gonna look him up.
Plug, but doing the world of flavor.com. That's he owns that, and he literally sells popcorn to the whole world. But he's avidly known throughout the tech community. Seriously, he is a huge tech head, but he owns Popcorn World. He's someone that actually I think will be a great fit for your show because, oh my gosh, he is an intellect. He is very smart, family man, God-fearing man. He's a really good person. But he's somebody that I've collabed with him in the past. But if we were gonna like me, you and him could run a show real easy. Oh my God. Okay. Wait till you meet him. And tell him I sent you too when you reach out to him.
Yeah.
He is someone you would invite him back 100 times over. And thinking about your personality, my personality, his personality, I'm not trying to like sell you anything, but I know him, and
I like having good conversations, especially when it comes to technology and stuff.
Yeah, he owns Popcorn World, but he can talk about he's in the tech community. It's so weird. It's like that's his getaway or something. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's crazy. He loves tech. But he's a business owner. Like he's still.
That's a good thing though, because that's one of the things I tell people about in technology. I'm like, if you like new people, especially during this pandemic, people are now trying to switch jobs up and trying to get into IT and stuff. And I'm like, it's nothing wrong with getting into IT, but make sure it's something you like.
Yeah.
Because if it's not something that you like, I don't care if you like the. Yeah, it'll get boring or it'll be too challenging for you. It's like a salmon swimming upstream. If you don't want to put that energy into trying to swim up the stream, you're just like, oh my God, why even get into this? But if you love it, I mean, no matter what you do, if you love technology, you are like kind of like what we do, even though I work in IT. You will always find things that you will like about it and that you would do a review on or just you'll play around with.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But that's one of the hardest questions, believe it or not, I've ever gotten asked in tech, I guess, because there's so many people to work with, but you gotta wonder how will you match up on camera? Like seriously, even if we weren't on camera, if this is just a podcast audio recording, you still have to match up. You have to be able to keep the flow going, or you can't agree on everything. There's always got to be some good combo there. And I think that would be the only thing stopping me from working with a lot of people. But ironically enough, again, I know we talk about off camera, but I think Erica Griffin would be a great fit for conversation. I think
I'm gonna have to reach out to her.
She's kind of a neutral playing field. Me and her review the same things. We review the same stuff. She doesn't do as many reviews lately, but she's always been a great conversationalist. And that's just the type of man I am. Regardless of what you think you know about a person or how you might personally feel, you gotta, if you're a real adult, you know, I'm man enough to say it. You know, I think she is a great tech reviewer. I don't personally know her, but I have come across her in person before. You know, regardless of, you know, what it is, I think that she probably be great for conversation. She is a serious tech head. You know, I think you should reach out to her too. She might be like, hey, sure, I'll do it. And I don't know what she's doing right now, but because I don't personally know her, but I think that would be interesting. Me, her, Floss, you. That would be. He might do your show too, man.
I'm gonna reach out to him too, because like I said, y'all are one of my top favorites. Now I do like some of the younger people, but when you're talking about people
in the world, I'm one of your top favorites. All these people are in the world. So
because man, I look at when I look at people, I gauge people by, like you said, how true to yourself that you are.
Oh yeah.
And if you just trying to, like I do like Justine, but if like you just trying to sell a product, that's cool. And I like your personality. But when it comes to like, if you true to yourself and you have a great personality, no man, I like you. I love you, and I love Flossie. Y'all are on my top. Top. Like we watch the shows all the time here, and it's fun because Flossie's funny to me. Flossie's funny, and then you are too, because you'll have your little shows where you just get in front of your camera and you just start talking.
Shut up.
And then you talking about you don't like giving no bad reviews, but you always do your catch and release segment.
I do. I have to every now and then, because people tell me I don't do. People say you never talk bad about a phone. It's not about talking bad about a phone. It's about, I'm just being honest. This is my experience with it. This is my experience with it. So, you know, everybody's gonna have a different experience when it comes to a product. Like my latest purchase right here. Right, I'm gonna hold it up because you know if you can't tell, I like audio. And I have, those are just the ones I have hanging on the wall, but I have a boatload of earbuds and headphones, right? So the latest one I purchased, these just came out. These are the PI7. These cost $400. These earbuds cost $400. I know. These cost $400. Now my Sony's right here, I bought these when they were new. They cost $230. Now these are the 3s. The 4s are out now. But I'm working on a video now for these. These cost $400, man. Most people are not going to spend $400 on earbuds, so I always get people out. I got these cost $50. These are the OnePlus earbuds. These are fantastic. They don't sound like a $400 set of earbuds, or even these $230. But these sound $50, and I would recommend the lower price ones. That's why I tell people, it depends on what you look for. You can get earbuds for pennies on the dollar now, but I'm working on that, and you know, it's just a matter of quality for me at this point. But doing YouTube it can be a lot of fun, and obviously if I can get earbuds for $400, I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah, but it took you a minute to get there.
It did, but even without YouTube, I still would buy those, because I didn't have YouTube when I bought it. I wasn't. None of these aren't for YouTube; they're just up there for display. Just like somebody got something to look at. But one thing, you know, statement real quick, because I don't know what your next question is, but I gotta say this. Somebody asked me, did I have something? And they was like, oh, you got that? And I said, yes, but I don't show everything on YouTube, because then people start to question, like, dang, how's this guy? I just don't like people counting, because that's what people do. They count. They count like, okay, so that cost, and he just bought his wife this and that. He bought both him and his wife a 512 gig iPhone. Yeah, I try not to show too much.
And them cars.
Again, I like to remain. People start to see. Even now, you might be thinking, dang, hold on a second. He didn't just say. That's $800 in earbuds he just held up right there. Plus, I want to remain humble and I let people know everybody has a lane. And I talked about this on video one day. I said, you know, some people use the terminology "stay in your lane," and they use it in a derogatory way. I say that in a respectful manner of, don't try to do this, man. If you're not into it, you're gonna feel like you're wasting money. Yeah. I don't feel like I'm wasting money. I don't feel like I'm wasting money on $400 earbuds. And obviously, if I have $400 earbuds, I'm matching it to a $2,000 phone, or you know, most of these phones are $1,000, $1,100.
Yes.
So you can see, even without YouTube, I was still into tech. I started a business back in 1995 and officially got going in 96. So I've always been into some kind of tech something. I just happened to start doing YouTube. That's the way, you know, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. You know, it happened like I just happened to have the platform of YouTube to showcase my passion. That's really all it is. Because without YouTube, if you would see me in person, you could ask anybody in my family, they'll be like, oh my God, I guess I'm tired of him talking about tech. That's all he talked about, this, and this. That's what you
I don't do that. Because, you know, when you do that, you the go-to person. They never, because, oh God, they want to call you.
In the family, you're absolutely right. I get a phone call at least once a week. Hey, did you what new phones you got? I'm like, you need a phone? I'll just ship you one. Like, just don't I don't want to go through all of this. Sometimes that's how it is. I'm like, you need some headphones? All right, you need a new smartwatch? Okay, here you go. Let me just do this because I don't want to get on this call for 2 hours talking about this. How's my computer? I'll be like, oh God, do you need a new laptop or what?
You know what? Just hit me. Even working at IT, you know, it's just certain things that you don't think about until it actually hits you. So my mom has always asked me about tech. Well, everybody always asks about tech stuff. Why have I never thought about hitting the screen record on the freaking phones and record how to do something and send it to them? I didn't think about that until yesterday. I was like, oh my God, I could have easily just made a quick video on a screen record and just said, look, leave me alone. Here, watch this video and show you how to do it.
What? See, now I'm the youngest, and I'm the youngest of all the siblings. My oldest brother is, I think, one of my brothers has passed away. He's 80. I think he's almost 80. I'm the youngest, right? So screen record is what I'm getting at. I do that sometimes for my wife and from people in the family, but for my older siblings, because remember, I'm the youngest and I'm not that young. What I do is I make them a YouTube video, put it unlisted, and send it to them. I email it to them.
Okay.
Because some of them like, I don't know how to use no email. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
You know, they like, I don't want to do no email. Show me how to do this. It'll be a flip phone. I'm like, oh Lord. Right. Let me see if I got that same flip phone. Seriously, let me see if I still got that same flip phone. And I'll record a video in the lowest quality possible, so it could be a small file, recording 480 or 240, and send to them. They like, this looks fantastic. I'm like, like, that does not look fantastic. I did that just for you. I'm poking fun at them at the same time, helping them out. Yeah. But you're right.
So as we wind down, so one thing you said earlier, and I didn't even tell you about it before I even invited you onto the show. We see so much negativity in media and everything, and social media, everything. On my segments, I always ask people to leave a blessing and to speak over people, especially when it comes to youth, because there's a lot of my co-hosts, we talk about how to get into doing streaming and stuff like that as an alternative means of income, because sometimes, like you said, you got kids at home, or you got a somebody that you're taking care of, or you be in between jobs right now, but you still got a computer and stuff because you're gonna have tech in your house. So what kind of words of encouragement you can give people to inspire them to just, what kind of words of encouragement you can give them?
I would say, because to the youth of today, we have seven grandkids, right? And so all of the grandkids, obviously me being me, they all have some kind of tablet or some kind of phone or something. Again, what's the purpose of having all this stuff if you're not going to bless somebody else with it? But I would tell them, depending on the age group, today's world is all about technology. Everything is tech. There's a camera everywhere. Somebody's got a watch, a smartphone. Down to the babies. My youngest grandchild is almost 2. He knows how to get a tablet and click through some applications. That's amazing. That's incredible. Today's youth, though, I would speak more to the people between basically the millennials. If you're easily offended, I come from a good place. So, I got several millennials that I have a lot of. All of my children are millennials, basically 30 to 19. That's my group of people. And I speak generally to the population that watches me. And when you look at my analytics, it's actually between 25 and 44, I think, that watches me the most, or 30, somewhere around there. My merch says #media. That's because we don't want to believe what just say no. We don't want to believe what media says. But I think that today's world is so, people love like sex sales and all these negative things sell in the world, and people watch that first. But unfortunately, let's say fortunately, we have the power to control what we look at.
Yep.
And you'll hear a lot of people give all this advice and tell these people something, but they're not doing it themselves. The first thing you need to do, if you're going to listen to someone, and I'm not saying a person who's not living right can't give you advice, because we don't know who he'll use to bring a message to you. But reality is, when you look at yourself and you look at the way you talk, the way you move about, the way you handle your finances, the way you live, anything about yourself, sometimes you're going to be a product of your environment. Other times you're going to be influenced by somebody else's environment, and you don't even know it. So as a person between those ages of maybe 20 to 35 or so, you technically should be our future, and you should be a great future. But we need to surround ourselves. And the only way to make a positive impact is take a second. You can take your clothes off if you want to. You can go in your underwear, go stand in front of the mirror. And before you start pointing the fingers at everybody else or the world is doing wrong, ask yourself what you're doing to help the world first. Whether that be the tech world or whatever world you're thinking about, what are you doing? What positive impact are you making to make things better? Because you can't make the world better if you don't start with yourself. That sounds kind of silly, a little cliche, but it's just the truth. How can we beg for a better world if, and it's not just that generation, let's be clear, it's not just that generation that's kind of making the world where it is, but they're dominating things that are happening right now. And if you lean that to become a positive role model, if you want to become a positive role model, don't try to become a positive role model, because there's no trick to it. There's no trick to becoming this person that's a positive role model. I always tell people that ask me, well, how did you get to where you got? I said, well, you're looking at the after product. You're looking at you didn't see the first 35 years of all these bad and struggles, and you didn't see any of that. You're looking at the kind of not a finished product, but you're looking at the peak side of something that looks really good. And you don't want to flip it over and see the real dirty side that used to be there, where it got picked up and polished off into a jewel. You don't really pay attention to that. Changing something and making something really good or making it better really just starts with the person that's wanting to ask another person, how do we do this? Or, how do we make things better? Just look at yourself first. You've got to surround yourself by people who have integrity, who are going to be honest with you, who are going to stay by your side even when you make a mistake, who are going to tell you that you're making a mistake. Those things can transition into whatever you think success is. Some people think success is making a lot of money. Let me be clear here. I have a lot of money. There's no other way to say that. Money does not make you happy, and it does not define your success. To me, happiness is wife, grandchildren, watching a movie when we can, going for a walk. All of that is all you see, especially with my channel. All the happiness that you see is simply my personal life flowing over into my passion. I love everything about my family, and I love what I do. And so when you see me on the camera and all this stuff like this, you're just watching a little bit of my life, a snippet of my personality, and how happy I really am. And so if you want to make things great, if you're young, you're watching this, you want to start a YouTube channel, you want to do anything, you just want to do something, all you have to do is start with yourself. There's no other way to do this. You cannot do it. You cannot get to where you want to be by, you've heard the scenario, crabs in a barrel. You've heard that before. If you haven't heard that before, you're probably a little young, but basically, you throw a bunch of crabs in a barrel, how are you going to get out? If somebody's going to step on somebody, you don't want to have that mentality. You want to create your own lane. Create your own lane, and don't give yourself a finish line. People I can give myself 75 days. I'll tell you something, that doesn't work. That 75 days will turn into 75 months to 75 years. Don't give yourself a finish line. Let him give you the finish line. He got your finish line already. But however you get to that finish line, sometimes that determines on one or two things that you do. It's either going to take you down that road, it's going to take you down that road, or it's going to take you down that road. So you choose how you want to be personally when you treat people nicely. Treat people nice. Don't do things to get things. Seriously, don't ever do this. It's a bad combination. It just leads to nothing. Genuinely give your passion and have integrity about what you do, and you'll be amazed how many people flock to you. Like him being invited to do this show is like, what? I'm excited. And he's like, man, I'm like, what? I'm the one that's excited. I mean, I do a lot of stuff like this. Like I'm going to be somewhere on the 27th. I got a whole bunch of other places I'll be, but still, it's just anytime somebody asks, I could be a snob and say, nah, I don't got time. But the reality is I do have time. I make time for what I like and what I want to be involved with. And this is something I was extremely honored and excited about, because Hey, maybe he might say, hey, let's revisit in 3 months. Oh, sure. The lot might have changed. Tech will change. And, hopefully we both have grown. But
Yeah.
being something and getting to where you want to be, folks, there's no secret combination. You got to surround yourself by people who are in a positive environment. You just can't do it by getting into certain environments. You got to, no matter where you are, and we're all kind of virtual right now. So even then, you still see negativity.
Right.
You do.
Now, for the people that don't, because I know a lot of people in my circle, they're not tech heads, but they listen to the show. So the folks that don't know who you are, because y'all need to follow Jay Wills, can you tell them where they can find you at?
Oh, everything on social media. I seen have grabbed all of the social media from Mr. J.L. Williams. So if you put in Mr. J.L. Williams, you should find me on Instagram, Twitter, even YouTube. You should find that everywhere. You'll find my YouTube channel. I own smartphoneconversations.com. Check me out. I post there probably once a day or once every week, once a month, whenever I feel like posting. But generally on my YouTube channel, some people search Jay Williams. Some people say they can find me that way, but I always tell people to type in Mr. J.L. Williams. And then put something after that. That's how you can find the person. Put in Mr. J.L. Williams in whatever phone you like, whatever tab you like, whatever tech you're looking for. If I have something on it, it'll come up and then you can find my channel. Because my channel is listed as Jay Williams, but Smartphone Conversations is what you'll see on the brand everywhere. And that's everywhere too, smartphoneconversations.com.
Yeah, and he has good content. So I want to say, no, you do. I want to say thank you again for appearing on the show. It has been, like I said, been an honor for me because, like I said, I do watch your content. I love your content. I love the fact that you don't include everything because I try to include, keep some of my personal life out of this segment over here. But you still sliding every now and then about your family and how you care about them and how they come first. So I am honored by that and that you're genuine to who you are. My final thoughts is kind of piggyback off what you're saying. What I've talked about before is during this pandemic, I hope that the biggest thing that you can do in life is know who you are and find your true self. Before you can bring anybody into your world, before you can do anything outside of your own personal life that you're trying to manifest in, be it a new job, be it new wealth, you have to know who you are as an individual so you can meditate upon that and rely upon God and the universe to send it back your way. And now until then, continue developing yourself, continue to read, continue to grow. You always have to be willing to grow no matter how old you are. You can never stop learning. You can have to always open yourself up to learn for something new because you never know when the blessing is going to come through and when it's going to manifest itself. So you have to be prepared for when to come. So I am Antonio Hicks, Mr. Escaping the Matrix. You can find me on www.ptg.tv online. I'm on Twitch at Escaping the Matrix. It's just Escaping the Matrix out of E. Thank you all for listening in. Thank you, Jay, for coming on. Love you guys. Happy podcast.